Have you ever wondered what the most dangerous thing in trading is? It's not a market crash. It's not a sudden, unexpected loss. It's winning a long, intoxicating, unbroken streak of wins. I know, because I once had one, and it nearly destroyed me. It's a strange thing to say, isn't it? That success could be the very thing that leads to your downfall. But the financial markets are a mirror, and sometimes the reflection they show is a side of ourselves we never wanted to see. This is the story of how I beat the market and, in the process, almost lost myself completely. It all started so perfectly, almost like a dream. For weeks, every trade I touched turned to gold. Every chart setup I identified played out exactly as I predicted. The market seemed to be whispering its secrets directly to me, and I was listening. The profits began to pile up, my account balance swelling with a speed that felt surreal. My confidence, initially a small, steady flame, quickly grew into a raging inferno. I felt invincible, like I had finally cracked the code, solved the puzzle that had eluded so many others. The humility I once had, the healthy fear of the market's power, evaporated. It was replaced by a quiet, creeping arrogance. I stopped double-checking my analysis, stopped questioning my own decisions. Why would I? I hadn't been wrong in weeks. I believed, with a dangerous certainty, that I had finally mastered the market. But here's the thing about success, especially in a world of probabilities and chaos like trading. It can be a master of deception. It weaves a beautiful, seductive illusion, making you believe you have control when you have none. My downfall didn't begin with a devastating loss, as you might expect. No. The catalyst was something far more insidious. Another easy, effortless win. It was a trade that I entered almost on a whim, one that broke a few of my own minor rules, and yet it paid off handsomely. That single, careless victory was the tipping point. It was the final piece of evidence my ego needed to declare itself king. It confirmed my new, unspoken belief that the rules no longer applied to me. From that moment on, I became reckless. I started taking on oversized positions, risking far more capital on a single idea than my own risk management plan allowed. The careful calculations I once performed were replaced by gut feelings and an unshakable belief in my own intuition. I was no longer a trader. I was a prophet, and the market was my congregation. Its breaking point came with a single gold trade. My analysis wasn't even fundamentally flawed, but the market hesitated. It dipped. It moved against me. My old self would have accepted the small loss, cut the position, and waited for a better opportunity. But my new self, the one fueled by ego and arrogance, refused to be wrong. I saw the red on my screen not as a market signal, but as a personal insult. Instead of cutting my losses, I doubled down, convinced I could force the market to bend to my will. The position grew larger and larger, a monument to my own stubborn pride. In the end, the market did what it always does. It moved, and in a matter of hours, that one trade wiped out nearly half of my account. I hadn't lost because my analysis was bad. I lost because my ego refused to accept the possibility of failure. That loss was a crack in the dam, and what followed was a flood. I spiraled, completely losing my grip on the discipline that had taken me years to build. The trader I had been was gone, replaced by a desperate gambler. I broke every rule in my own trading book, rules I had written in the ink of past failures. I started chasing my losses, entering bigger and more reckless trades in a frantic attempt to win the money back instantly. Each new position wasn't about making a profit anymore. It was about proving I was still right, that the massive loss was just a fluke, an anomaly. But the market doesn't care about your need for validation. The financial pain was immense, but it was nothing compared to the emotional toll. Each subsequent loss was a hammer blow, not just to my account, but to my very identity. For months, I had defined myself as a winner, a master of the markets. That identity was shattering, into a million pieces. I would stare at the charts, my heart pounding, my hands shaking, not with excitement, but with a cold, gnawing fear. I wasn't just losing money, I was losing myself. It was in that dark, quiet moment of staring at my decimated account balance that a profound clarity washed over me. I finally realized the truth. I hadn't lost to the market. I had lost to myself, My greed, my pride, my inability to accept being wronged, these were the true culprits. This is where the science gets fascinating, Winning, especially in high-stakes environments, can be more neurochemically dangerous than losing. When you score a big win, your brain is flooded with dopamine, the same neurotransmitter associated with pleasure, reward, and addiction. You feel euphoric, powerful, invincible. Your brain craves that feeling again, and it starts to prioritize the thrill of the win over the cold, hard logic of your strategy. You become addicted not to trading well, but to the feeling of being right. Losing, on the other hand, triggers the amygdala, the brain's fear center. It hurts. It's a painful but powerful teacher. Winning, however, feels good. It anesthetizes you to risk. It makes you feel safe when you are, in fact, at your most vulnerable. To fight this powerful biological pull, I had to do something radical. I created a new, simple rule for myself, one that had nothing to do with charts or indicators. The rule was this: stop trading for the day after 2 consecutive wins. Sounded counterintuitive. Why stop when you're on a roll? But the pause wasn't about strategy. It was about psychology. That forced break allowed the dopamine rush to subside. It gave me the space to step back, clear my head, and remain emotionally detached from the outcome. It prevented the winning streak from turning into a runaway train of ego and recklessness. It was a circuit breaker for my own addictive tendencies, key in stepping away and forcing myself to pause even during moments of success. I discovered something far deeper about this entire endeavor. I had always chased the idea of financial freedom, believing it was a number in a bank account. I thought it meant having enough money to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. But I was wrong. I realized that true financial freedom has very little to do with how much money you make. It's about not being controlled by your emotions. It's about not being a slave to your need to prove yourself, your fear of missing out, or your addiction to the thrill. It's the freedom from the emotional roller coaster that enslaves so many traders. Trading, I've come to understand, is not just about charts and profits. It's a profound journey of self-discovery. It's a mirror that reflects your deepest fears, your most arrogant pride, and all of your inner battles. Every click of the mouse is a decision that reveals who you are in that moment: disciplined or impulsive, patient or greedy, humble or proud. The market is the ultimate, impartial judge of your character. You can't lie to it, and you can't lie to yourself for long. It will expose every weakness, every flaw, every unresolved emotional issue you have, and it will force you to confront them, or it will take everything from you. The goal isn't to beat the market. The goal is to master yourself. So, here is the lesson that I had to learn the hard way, the one that cost me half my account and nearly my sanity. The most important thing you can do is keep your balance. Not just a balance in your trading account, but your emotional and psychological balance. When you win, stay humble. When you lose, stay resilient. Don't let victory make you arrogant, and don't let defeat make you desperate. Because in the end, your success won't be determined by a single perfect strategy or a once-lifetime trade. It will be determined by your ability to navigate the person you see in the mirror. Keep your balance, because when you can hold on to yourself, you can hold on to everything else.